Steeler Nation, welcome back to G'day Steelers Nation. I've always liked that quote from Dennis Green. They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. So that's what I'm basing my show around today with our Steelers. Now, I'll be very honest. This past week, I've been so busy with extra work in my normal personal life. Had a few social outings, had a few beverages here and there, and Steeler news, not much has been happening besides the new tight end we have signed, right? And at this point, we're going into the combine very shortly, and the Steelers still don't have a quarterback. So if you guys are new to the show, and you are new to my YouTube channel as well, it's the Steelers Nation Australia on the podcast Steelers Steel Curtain Network. And one of the shows here of a million shows, but it's from my Australian perspective. And at this point, my very tired Australian perspective. Filming and recording at 8:30 p.m. On a Monday night. And this will come out very shortly. So I've always liked that quote. Dennis Green, they are who we thought they were. And right now for the Steelers are who we thought they were. No major changes, nothing too crazy. Mike Tomlin is still the coach. We're running it back with Arthur Smith. Running it back with Terrell Austin. It looks like, guys like Cam, TJ, they're not going to be traded. Minka's coming back. The defense is one of the highest paid defenses in the league. And there still needs to be improvements on this team. And yes, we have not won a playoff game in many years. And they need to do much better. So the Steelers right now are who we thought they were, and there's just been no big changes. And I'll quickly jump into that. We've of course signed two coaching signings with the defensive backs and linebackers coach getting changed over, but they haven't signed back. What's the bloke's name? Kyle Dunbar or Brady, Grady. Not Tom Brady, Grady Brown. So the Steelers do this kind of stuff. Like the news, there's been a lot of rumors being linked to Matthew Stafford, or a lot of links towards Aaron Rodgers, and I've even heard now the Justin Fields link to the Jets. And the Steelers have been very quiet, but they do this stuff all the time. This is what they normally do. So when there was the signing of the tight end, I believe his name is Donald Parham Jr., and he was from the Chargers. He's been there for 4 years. When they signed him, I went to Facebook, and a lot of those comments can be in a toxic environment, a bit like X or a bit like Steelers Twitter. And also, if you want to follow me on Steelers Twitter, it's Steelers Oz, so OZ, and you can follow me there. I tweet out some things, have a bit of my perspective. But the Steelers are who we thought they were, and they make a tight end signing. And the Facebook Nation, Steelers X, or Twitter X, goes off, and people are pretty peed off or unhappy about signing a tight end. But I wrote in one comment, and I said on the internet, and many people have their opinions, but I said in a comment, we're not in September yet, and we don't have to play a game next week, right? It's not happening just yet. So when they signed the new tight end, this guy was signed to Parham was signed to a 1-year deal, and there was one Twitter post out there that said the Steelers have now signed 0 quarterbacks, or have 0 quarterbacks, 1 running back, and 7 tight ends. And I wrote back, the season starts next week. This is the approach that the Pittsburgh Steelers normally take around this time. There's no real trending rumors that they're going to pick up, like I said, Matthew Stafford or these quarterbacks or Kirk Cousins or whoever it may be. These are just rumors at this point. It would be nice to see and hear a Steelers quarterback get signed tomorrow or the next day, if it was Fields or if I were running it back with Wilson. Then the fan base would know. We would definitely know what's happening, right? I've even heard reports out there the Steelers are being interested in running back Nick Chubb this offseason, right? So these are just the free agent reports from players, and I wouldn't mind if Nick Chubb were to be a Steeler. If he's healthy, if he can play good football, get back to where he was, coming back off that big injury. I think the Steelers, I think Minka was the one that caused the big injury as well a couple of years back, right? He didn't look right last year in the Browns uniform, that was Nick Chubb. So there's really just all rumors at this point. Rumor. But the Steelers did sign 6'8", Donald Parham, and he's had, I think, a few touchdowns here and there over the Chargers in 2023. Had 4 TDs, but he was on the practice squad for Denver. So that's one big bit of news that the Steelers have done. But you look around the Facebook land, and everyone's like, "Well, this must be. We have to get. We need to get this." But these things take time. And when you look back at it, there probably wasn't going to be a big move being made just yet. Just take time. So that's why I want to start off the show with the Steelers are who we thought they were, and that's just going day-to-day business, getting ready for the combine. But I think from my perspective, though, of course I'm excited to be a Steelers fan. I love being a Steelers fan. I love being, I've been watching the game for 23, 24 years, black and gold. Even the other day, I was watching some highlights of Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Big Ben, Heath Miller. Just some good, fun offense to see the ball moving down the field and some crazy catches. And I just don't think that overall excitement is there just yet this year. Obviously, because we have missing pieces, and the missing pieces are the quarterback. The missing pieces are who's our running back. Najee's a free agent. There's now inquiring interest. I think that Warren will be coming back at his position for running back. Do they go and get rid of Cordarrelle Patterson now? You've now got, there's a chance at the tight end position where Connor Hayward may lose his job, possibly. I'm not saying that he will. I want him to. I'm saying possibly because you have now 3 or 4 tight ends in that room. But then it comes back to, we're just a few, hopefully, weeks away from knowing who our black and gold Steelers quarterback is. That's probably one of the most frustrating parts, I think, as a Steelers fan right now, and the overall excitement or optimism that a lot of us face. And sometimes, you know what, too, if you are watching or listening, if you're listening or watching, both vice versa, whatever it may be, if you're listening right now to a bloke in his room talking Pittsburgh Steelers, and I haven't been here on the channel on Steeler Nation Oz for a week, and it's been 1 week since our last episode, in episode 2 for today, then you are a die-hard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. 110%. At the same time, things haven't really been moving the needle that much in terms of big news and things happening. So that's why I say the Steelers are who we thought they were right now. Now I'm hoping the Steelers can amp it up in the free agent period, go and sign some big names, maybe at a running back position, maybe at receiver, bring in 1 or 2 receiving veterans. I've got to start to do now. This is the point in my Steelers fandom and more also like my podcasting. I'm not a journalist, but my podcasting news and looking for information. I've got to start to figure out who's the best free agent for the Steelers to get, who I think or should they go and acquire or show some interest in. But definitely not a journalist. Definitely just a bloke in his room talking Steelers. You guys could be, like I said last week in the first overall episode, it's like a bar sitting. So I'm sitting down the bar, you've walked in, you've ordered your chicken wings, you've ordered your beer, and I've seen that you're wearing a black and gold Steelers shirt, and I go, "Oh, are you a Pittsburgh fan?" And say we're in some bar in Dallas, I don't know where we are, we're chilling. And then you go, "Yeah, I'm from Pittsburgh, I'm from Australia." And we start talking, and we're like, okay, what do the Steelers need to do in 2025? And to me, it comes back to the quarterback. They got to find a quarterback. They need some direction. They need something where you can be a franchise guy or sign one of these guys for a 2 or 3 year contract and then maybe go to the draft. And I haven't even looked at the draft quarterbacks at all really in this one, but I don't know what the Steelers, I don't think they're going to do a Kenny Pickett again in round 1. I don't think that's going to happen. But we're sitting in the bar, we're chilling, we're okay, where is this team right now? Where is it? And pretty much where they are is where they're meant to be, is just doing slow step, slow burn process. That is, okay, sign a tight end, they've signed a couple of coaches, still have a lot of missing pieces on the roster. And we're playing, the rumor game for the next 2 or 3 weeks until things start to happen. Now, I did see last week as well, there was Justin Fields. put out an Instagram post that he was wearing black and gold, and is that a sign? Is that like some information or an indication that he will become a Pittsburgh Steeler for the next 3 years? Could be a possibility. We also saw Russell Wilson. He was out there working again with his like independent team, moving the football around and showing his ability again in the off season. Is that a possibility where the Steelers could go that route and sign Wilson for a 3-year contract? A lot of rumors, a ton of rumors at this point, and I just think, like I said, it's where it needs to be right now, and they are who we thought they were. And the Steelers are black and gold. They're taken day by day, and there's not much big news or connections to rumors or insider information where it's one way or the other, where the Steelers are going to go this direction or that direction. And at some point too, it can be a bit of fun. It can be a bit of fun to speculate and think, oh, what's going to happen next? Who's going to be here? On the other side of the coin, though, if you flip it a million times, on the other side of the coin, it can be quite exhausting too. So if you're a bit like me and you've checked out a tiny bit, the news has slowed down and here and there, and maybe you are watching old Steelers games. Like I said before, I was watching Le'Veon Bell, I was watching Antonio Brown. I saw a game for the Steelers to win the division versus the Bengals 2014 highlights. I just came across it. In my YouTube, I was like, okay, I'm relaxing. I want to watch some Steelers football. I can't stand the Bengals. I absolutely hate that franchise to pieces. They have been in the league now 58 seasons. They have a 0-3 records. So the more you learn about this channel, Steelers Nation Australia, and the more you learn about this podcast featuring on Steel Curtain Network, you'll learn more and more and more how much I despise the Bengals. And that comes from Devontae's perfect days. That comes from Hushmanzada when he was, he was using the terrible towel to wipe his cleats and disrespecting the terrible towel. So my hatred for the Bengals comes from them. I would be very happy to never ever see them win a Super Bowl ever again in my lifetime. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Because I cannot stand that franchise. Yes, they have some good players, but I find joy and joyous moments when I see the Bengals lose versus the Texans in the playoffs a few times. I find joyous amounts of energy when they lose in the Super Bowl, right? When they versus the Rams. I think it's fantastic. I think it's fun. 58 years and they've never won one. Steelers fans, we have 6. I know it's tough times right now. We're about to go to a break. It's tough times right now. But Steelers fans, if you're ever down the dumps and you want a bit of a pick-me-up, go and watch a Super Bowl from the 70s. Go watch me and Joe Green or Terry Bradshaw light it up, or Franco Harris run the rock, right? Go watch Mel Blount pick off a interception or whatever it may be in a Super Bowl. Go do something like that. Or if you're like me as a Steelers fan, I started in 2002, go and watch Super Bowl 40 and go and watch Super Bowl 43. And watch James Debo Harrison run back the 99-yard interception to the end zone. Alrighty, Steel Nation, let's go a quick break. So that was my main message for all this podcast. On the other side, we might talk about a bit of the offense. Like I left you guys with a bit of a cliffhanger last week. So on the other side of this break from Steel Curtain Network, we'll talk a bit about the offense and what I think they should do and what they should maybe pursue in terms of names and what I think of like maybe my wish list. I kind of want the Steelers to take that approach. So right now we'll take a break and I'll catch you guys on the other side. Alrighty, Steel Nation, and we're back. Welcome to G'day Steelers Nation. And I'm also here on Steelers Nation Australia as well on my YouTube channel. If you do want to check me out on YouTube, just type in Steelers Nation Australia. Over 3,000 something subs. Countless views, countless people saying comments in here and there and having a great time, part of the community. And also a big shout out to the HDU community, which is Hooley Dooley University. It's like one of our made-up university things here on to be a member on the platform. So check me out also on Steelers Nation Australia. Where you're watching it right now, or if you're listening on the audio platform, check me out there. I try and talk Steelers every day, except this week I've had a bit of a time off, and it wasn't a planned time off. I had picked up, I think, 2 extra shifts at my job. So just a quick little sidebar note. Actually, most of these conversations are sidebar. Like I said, I go from one tangent to the other. I try and do the best I can to keep it all together. But we're at a bar, and by now I've had 3 sherbets, and I'm talking about, and you've said, you know what? Have you played pickleball? And I go on a tangent. I say, yes, I have played pickleball. I've been playing pickleball for 4 years. So that's my side job. That's my job. Like I'm a coach, and I run like youth programs, and I've been building this pickleball competition / like club with the help of my staff and a few other guys and players here and there. And we've been building it from now like 6 sessions to like 20. So this week I picked up 2 extra shifts. I was super busy and I had no time. I had no time for Steeler stuff. It was really tough to put into any kind of video or lives or whatever it may be. Had no time to get things together. And I just had a little bit of like limited energy for what I was doing and you know, socializing and whatnot. But also another interesting thing about this YouTube channel. It's been around 4 years now. Now I'm back with Steel Curtain Network, and I thank the fellas and I thank the audience who have you know, welcomed me back to the show and the platform, and being on the audio side is a lot of fun. It is you know, quite different for me because my news cycle, I'm 15 hours in front. 15 hours in front. So the minute you get a bit of breaking news where Donald Parham Jr. Signs the contract with the Steelers for 1 year, I'm asleep. I'm dead set asleep. At your 9 a.m. is my midnight. The moment I wake up in the morning, if I have to go to work at like my 6 a.m. and I go to 6 a.m. to 4 p.m., by that time, that American day is over. And how fast the NFL news travels around, how fast Steelers news travels around, by the time you want to talk about it or even mention it in a podcast, it's almost like we've moved on from that situation, being the Steelers did sign a tight end. Now, was it a big move? No, it wasn't. It wasn't a big move at all. That's what my title was. The Steelers are who we thought they were. They're just making normal moves as they do in normal day-to-day life or Steelers life, getting in preparation for the combine and for you know, scouts to look at the players and for fans to watch the players, getting ready for the draft, getting ready for the free agent period. And I was kind of thinking, what do I want to see on my wish list? I know I said this before the break there. What do I want to see on my Steelers wish list? And I keep going back to this. I keep going back to the offense because, yes, we did allow, the Steelers allowed almost 300 yards rushing in the last game. So there should be a wish list for defense too. But I want to go back to offense because right now, my wish list, to be very honest, as an Australian fan here, even though I'm 15 hours behind, I would like to see a quarterback. I would like to see a quarterback get chosen, get you know, a contract. If that is Justin Fields or if that is Russell Wilson, I just want to see a bit of direction. If that is a trade, which would be crazy to see, if it was Matthew Stafford, or even wilder to me, if it was, you know, Aaron Rodgers, but to me, that's not going to happen. I do not see Aaron Rodgers in a Steelers uniform at all this year. But I'm kind of getting a bit impatient with all the rumors swirling around, and one of my, I guess, bullet points on the wish list that I'm creating is I just want the Steelers to choose a quarterback. I think, to me, being a fan for 24 years, 23 years, I'm very spoiled. Me personally, not everyone else out there, me personally, very spoiled to be able to see 2 Super Bowl wins, 40 and 43, to have Big Ben as our coach, as our quarterback for 18 years, to have Mike Tomlin as a coach for 17, 18 years, or whatever longer he's been coaching for. Very spoiled in that way. Because always in the off season, when I was a kid watching the game, or the last few years before I was doing podcasting, and I've been there here for 4 years or whatever it may be, you had Big Ben as a quarterback. So you knew you had a chance to go on a run to the Super Bowl window was open. Now I don't even feel like the door or the crack is even slightly open, because we can't get past that hurdle. Steelers can't get past that hurdle of the playoff game. We don't have a quarterback. So the optimism for me, as I try and be one of the most positive fans and optimistic fans out there, it's a little low. I tell you, it's a little low. It's a little low right now. I look around the news and I go, signing tight end, okay, it's part of the process, but there's no big moves happening yet. Steelers don't have any clear direction at quarterback. Don't have any clear direction the running back. But another part of my wish list is sign a quarterback, get things done. The next part would be trying to understand and determine what is George Pickens' future. Is he going to be number one? Out there in the comments, Steeler Nation, if you're having a beer with me right now, is he gonna be number one? Or do the Steelers trade away George Pickens for some picks and restart in that receiver room? Right now, it's not the best receiver room you've ever seen. Roman Wilson going into his second year. As a fan, we haven't seen him play. That's it, and he could be fantastic. I'm not saying he won't be. He could be a fantastic receiver. Could be a good number two alongside Roman Wilson. Did the Steelers bring back Mike Williams, who they traded for and did nothing with? Who's going to be our pass catchers at the receiver base or the tight end position? Can Freiermuth step up? Can we get him the ball? Can Darnell get some packages? So my wish list right now is for the Steelers, 1, to find a quarterback. Steelers, 2, what is the direction of George Pickens, and what's going to happen with his contract? Do they extend him? Do they put a lot of money into him? Is he their guy? Is he like the face of the franchise? There's a lot of questions right now. A lot of questions. And that's why I said the Steelers are who we thought they were, and they're just walking by step. We can't hurry the process, but our Steeler fans' minds, or mine definitely does, rush to, okay, I want a quarterback. All right, I want to figure out. I want to find out who's our receiver. I want to find out, can George Pickens, will he get an extension? Are they going to trade him away? Calvin Austin had a great year, but is he going to be our number 3 receiver? What kind of role can he play in 2025? Who's going to be his quarterback? Who's the number 4 receiver? Do you go and sign? I think Ben Skoranek is a receiver / gunner. Do you bring him back as a free agent? That could be a possibility. So we're in the dark right now as Steelers fans. We don't know exactly what's happening. I think Omar Khan is scheduled to talk at the Combine. I believe I heard that through a Twitter, an X notification, and I think he's talking shortly to Steelers fans and the reporters about maybe the direction of the team. So it will start to spark my interest, I think, after the Combine, and then getting ready for the free agent period. And in 2 weeks' time, I think the Steelers and all the NFL teams can go out and sign free agents and start to build the roster again. It just feels like a bare bones, locker room right now with players who are shipped out or not coming back, or we don't know. So that's one of the frustrating parts. Is when I was a Steelers fan, when I was a kid, we knew we had Big Ben as a franchise quarterback. He was there for 18 years, and maybe that's why it was so special for him when I think his last game was versus the Browns. And yeah, we didn't finish on a very high note that season. I think we lost against the Chiefs. The Steelers lost with Big Ben. But 18 years of your quarterback gave you 2 Super Bowls, had that amazing pass to San Antonio Holmes in the back of the end zone, countless Big Ben moments when he ran down the Colts player and tackled him. And that was special times. They were good times. They were fun times. When in the offseason, you knew you had your quarterback. And for the past 2 years, the past 4 years, the Steelers just haven't had the answer to the solution of how do we replace Big Ben. They just haven't had it. It just hasn't happened. They tried Trubisky as a bridge. That didn't work out. Trubisky was awful. There was one game I could not watch because he was starting, so I gave up, and then he was then shipped to the bench, and Kenny Pickett came in to play his first ever game as a Steeler, and he also was not the solution. Mason Rudolph wasn't the solution either. He's now a Tennessee Titan, and he was a third quarterback going on a run, and it was like meant to be a Rudolph saved Christmas moment, but that didn't work out either versus the Bills. So the Steelers are in a bit of limbo at the moment. They don't have a quarterback. It's not the same as it used to be with a great defense and a franchise quarterback. They have not proved to meet that match after Big Ben and have their quarterback. They've tried Duck Hodges. They've tried Trubisky. They've now tried Wilson and Fields. And those are the two strongest rumors will Justin Fields sign, or will they go and sign Russell Wilson to a 2-year, 3-year contract to end his career and be a limited short-term solution for our Pittsburgh Steelers? So, anyways, guys, thank you for listening to G'day Steelers Nation on Steel Curtain Network. I do find these podcasts really fun, and that's the first time I've spoken Steelers in over a week. I had a 7-day break. Because it's been so busy, and there hasn't been much Steeler news around for myself to talk about. So I thought I'll have a bit of a break. Go on a few social outings, have a few sherbets, have a few good beers and whatnot, and we'll come back and tackle it. And also next week too, we'll do the same thing. We'll try and talk about what is happening in the world of Steelers Nation, man, or Steeler Nation, right? So I say, g'day Steelers Nation. Let's try and be positive and happy about our team as best we can. But right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers, where we sit, is the Steelers are who we thought they were. Steelers are chipping away, man. They're chipping away, doing day-by-day activities or day-by-day things, and no real big moves just yet. But you never know, in 2 weeks' time, there could be a big move coming or a big free agent signing that would blow our socks off. And we're like, oh my goodness, that happened. The Steelers signed this person or the Steelers signed that free agent. We're trading away who? It could happen. Alrighty, Steelers Nation, I'll say thank you, and thank you to all the listeners, and thank you to Steelers Nation Australia, and also thank you to the Steel Curtain Network family as well. I'll see you guys later.